Here comes a new challenger!
Hello there everyone, and welcome to a brand new video featuring the hero from Dragon Quest, in which we will be analyzing the character. And you know, a lot of people say this character is kind of a mid-tier. Why is that? The character's it's not that fast on his feet. He's alright in terms of speed. Slow frame data, they'll say. What they don't understand is that despite the slow frame data, massive hitboxes, alright, I mean massive. I mean, if you know how to space well with this character, typically your opponent's is gonna struggle to get in, and even if they do, you have a funny little uppy to help you. But what should we get out of the way first? Well, let's talk about his RNG, because that's the main core aspect of this character. In terms of smash attacks, there's a 1 in 8 chance that they will crit. So, that won't crit, that may not crit, and this one may not crit. Never mind, it did. But you see, it's all RNG, but the damage and knockback is increased. Though be mindful that while crits will increase shield stun, they do not do more shield damage. At least from what I've noticed. I've played this character so much, and I've never once really broken a shield because of that type of scenario. But either way, another benefit to getting crits, by the way, is that crits grant you more MP. So that gave me like 10. There you go. So as you can see, it gave me double the amount. So getting crits for MP, really nice. Now let's talk about the menu real quick. So the menu has various options, but just know that the main thing you want to watch out for is the projectiles. As you can see, I have Kaboom, but I'll never get Bang, alright, until the next pull, or possibly later pulls after that. Be mindful that the 4 spells that you get on the menu here will not show up in the next 4 menu spells. The only way you could get a repeat spell, let's say I got Flame Slash there, and then I had Hocus Pocus, and Hocus Pocus gave me Flame Slash, then that's the only way you could get the spell to work on the second pull, right? Or the pull right after. Hocus Pocus has the smallest chance of showing up, and when it comes to the slashes, they'll all show up in the same pool, so you can get Metal Slash, Hatchet Man, Flame Slash, and Crackle Slash all in the same pool. You can't get the same type of projectiles in the same one, so you can't get Whack and Thwack in the same thing, you can't get Bang and Kaboom in the same one, Scissor Sizzle, so on and so on. When it comes to other spells, such as Zoom for instance, Zoom will show up more likely when you're closer to the blast zone than you are closer to the stage, and Zoom in itself will put you in a random part of the stage. Fun little fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can bang well, I tried showing it off there, but you can bang your head on under the stage, which in some ways can actually kind of help, because I mean, if you're stuck in a pickle, you could just go for that, I guess, if you're down below. It's kind of funny when it happens, but either way, that's all you really need to know. And of course, there are the buffs and things like heal. Heal will only show up twice until you get a stock in which you get an extra heal. Though, of course, like I said, Hocus Pocus, you can still get more heals through Hocus Pocus, but Hocus Pocus is never something worth going for. And the buffs can stack. You can stack Oomph, Psych Up, Bounce, and Accelerate all together to create the happiest, crispest trio round. You know, of course, that's if you get all these spells together, because as you can see here, I'm kind of struggling to get all of them, but now I have all of them, and then, well, you know, it left. Bounce, but whatever. I'm a Christmas tree of pain. That kind of approach. Obviously, for some matchups, like with Shulk here, you don't want to go for Bounce because he doesn't have a projectile. I think that's really it. You know, just make sure to avoid Kamikaze, obviously, and just know that Whack and Thwack have a random chance of killing, and the higher your percent, well, the more likely you are to die. And that is why you should never go for Hocus Pocus. Though, fun fact, whatever spell is available to you, it will be on the top, so be mindful of that. So say for instance, you have like no MP and you just want to top deck Kamikaze. Well, there you go. You could go for it. So have fun with that. Alright, so I hope that basically got all the RNG out of the way. So now let's talk about Hero, the character itself. So Hero, as a character, is a keep away sort of character that can approach and has some combos, has some sauce, has some grab combos, has some pretty good tech chase setups, can force situations like those. Very nice, you know, land a couple fares here, and then boom, bam, there you go. So that's an example of something you can do. Of course, if you have that situation, you can try to go for the jab block and then a crit if you want to. It is possible. I've done it numerous times. You'd be surprised how often this can happen to you. Alright, that's all nice and dandy, but isn't his frame data bad? Yes, though he does have a pretty good out of shield option being up B. So let's talk about up B, because these are some of the few things I want to get across when it comes to this character. Obviously, like I mentioned, he's a keep away character. He relies on his MP, but you don't really have to worry about losing your MP as long as you're not trying to go for the crazy RNG all the time, right? Because RNG will make you waste MP very quickly. But if you're conservative with your MP and you just know how to space well your side B, maybe this side B, you know, keep away the opponent, you know, throw some aerials here and there, you know, basically force your opponent to approach you, right? Because you have projectiles, they don't. You have this projectile, which is really strong. You have, you know, and if you have something like Accelerato, now suddenly this projectile also becomes really strong because you can combo off of it. So you can force approaches, you control the stage, you have that power because you have all these really strong spells that kill ridiculously early and do massive damage for no reason, right? And even if they do manage to approach, well, guess what? You have a little funny. Now, this funny only really works super well on stages with plats. So FD, for instance, is not a stage you really want to go for. But say you're on shield, they're pressuring you, you up B, right? And then you get put on the platform. Funny thing is that it leads to some perfect setups, such as up smash, right? Or a common one, if you want to get some guaranteed damage and even a kill at some points, up tilt. Now, why would you want to go for these moves at all? Is because if your opponent tries to challenge it, well, they have a chance of dying. What do I mean? Well, up smash, like I mentioned earlier, has the ability to crit. And if it crits, they're basically dead. Yes, you're dead right there. Your Shulk's at 30, doesn't matter. If it crits, it crits. And if it doesn't, well, he's taking still a ton of damage, alright? That's a lot of damage for just one move, right? It's literally combination moves, and you still have this other option. So either way, Hero sort of gets the advantage, especially on plats. You have a lot of room to work with, you know, especially on stages like Town and City, where you have the plats on the side that are, you know, really high up. Hero can land on those, and you are more likely to land some of those than, you know, anything else. They'll be mindful that whatever direction you're facing is where the hitbox will send the opponent. So even though I'm facing away from them, it's going to send them back. So be mindful of that. And of course, you can move forward and send them away from you, or whatever the case may be, or maybe you want to go with them and land on the plat and do what I just did, right? He also has some other fun little things. You know, he can combo into his smash attacks. I think Nair F smash still works on some characters, though I don't know if Shulk is one of them. But Nair F smash at low percents I think will work. A common one is up air. Now up air, small hitbox. But landing up air, pretty good, and it has enough stun for you to react where your opponent got hit, where your opponent was sent, and you could follow up with an up smash, right? So that's nice. And again, if it crits, they're dead, you know. And if you put them on a platform and they have to, you know, they have to roll, you can still hit them with up smash. And again, if it crits, they're more likely to die than anything else. Right? Very weird like that, I know, but it is what it is. Okay, so with that all being said, now that we have a few good understandings of how Hero works, Why do I think he's a strong character? Because in my latest tier list, I put him as a high tier character. Well, that's because, as I mentioned, Hero's a character that controls the stage. Sure, he may not have his resources all the time, but as long as you're conservative and force the opponent to approach, you can then use your aerials to essentially space them out, and if you get some hits in, well, guess what? You get MP. And you can still dash in, maybe with a little cancel, with a little cancel here, right? Maybe you do this, and if you notice, when he hits, or when he hits something, really, he has some invincibility there, which means that, as an example, you can challenge certain moves that normally would win. So there you go. It's basically Palu back air, Palu dash attack. Similar concept. So in terms of approaching, Hero doesn't really have that much of a hard time, and when it comes to controlling the stage, he also doesn't really have a hard time. The only time Hero really has a problem is when characters have extremely good frame data, such as Sheik, who basically doesn't allow Hero to breathe. He will struggle, and he will have a hard time keeping Sheik away. It's possible, but not all that possible, which is why he still loses to some characters. But, you know, regardless of him losing some matchups here and there, because of his frame data, and because their frame data is just ultimately superior than his, and they're able to get in, either because some characters like Joker, for instance, with Arsene has a reflector, Joker himself is already really fast, Sonic, for instance, Sonic can, you know, Hero can try spacing out all this sort of stuff all he wants, but Sonic's going to be able to run around, circles around Hero. So again, there are aspects to this character that are strong, yet, you know, there are other aspects that are weak. Makes sense, right? I hope it does. I hope it makes sense. Because, really, when it comes down to it, a keep away character shouldn't be that strong up close, but he does have strong tools that your opponent is forced to watch out for. I mean, be mindful. Up B hitbox, it's pretty big, all things considered. And considering that you could get that to happen, like right there, hey, I'm just saying, that's something to fear. And since you don't know when RNG may take the wheel at some point and just ultimately end someone's stock, hey, you know, you see this? All these F smashes, none of them are critting. But if one of them were to crit, you know, that's a lot of damage. And so in a situation where your opponent tries to get in, you force them, and you force them in this situation, and if they try to challenge you, it crits, they dead. They're really dead. You know, I mentioned earlier, up air. You know, how you can combo into it. The thing is, this thing's spammable. Alright, so yeah, it may be a small hitbox, but you're more than likely to be able to hit it as long as you do it once or twice, and especially against big bodies, they're gonna get hit. Fun fact, up smash crit from up air from 20 to 30%, the only character it doesn't kill is Bowser. The only character. And even then, I think there are other ways to get it to kill on Bowser, especially on stages with some plat. So, you know, have fun with that. Hero has really good tools, and this is all without RNG. Well, a few RNG because of the smash crits. Once you add in the menu, it gets so much more crazier. Especially with Oomph and Accelerado. In my opinion, the best specials you can get from this entire selection. Accelerado boosts your movement. In my opinion, with Accelerado, Hero has the best movement out of any character in Smash. Because it's not just about run speed, it's about air speed, you know, air drift, all this sort of stuff. All these things matter. So for instance, Sonic is really fast on the ground, but he's not that fast in the air compared to Hero here, who once it gets Accelerado, I move around like crazy. B reverse the neutral B, move around, you know, and moves that in theory shouldn't be able to combo now do, especially because you have this 6 MP little fireball that if it connects, you get a combo off of it. And then if we stack this with Oomph, for example, not Psycho, but Oomph, then that little fireball becomes even more dangerous because now they went from 25% to 61. You know? And with Accelerato, you can be off stage as much as you want, right? Essentially. And because of that, you can chase them off stage. You can chase them off stage. And here's the thing. Hero's Recovery is really good in terms of the distance it covers. I made it back. I'm all the way down there. I made it back all the way from down there too. And of course, you have the funny zoom, which in any case you can go for. Though you don't really want to go for that. Hee there you go. And now I'm back to the stage. Funny thing is, some people will try to predict where you land with zoom. You can just jump. You can just jump, and if you have Accelerato, well then obviously when you jump, there's no way they're going to catch you, for the most part. So does that make sense, in a way? Shulk, for instance, Shulk is essentially hero without RNG, right? Because he can choose his Monado arts. The difference between Shulk's Monado arts, however, and Hero's buffs is that Hero can stack his buffs. Shulk can't stack his buffs. The only way he can transition from using, say, Buster to Smash is using the dial storage, in which, say for instance, I fair here, or no. Man, have I forgotten how to do it? I think I did. But basically, the Monado wheel takes, I believe, 11 frames to come out, but you can force it to come out frame 1 just by doing a simple there's methods, but I guess I forgot how to do them. Either way, it essentially allows it to be frame 1, which means a link like Nair Buster into Smash Art to Smash Art F Smash can be true. So that's really the only way you can pull that off. I'm gonna have to play Shulk again just so when I get to his analysis, I can much more conveniently show you how that works. But anyways, Hero doesn't really have that issue. He doesn't have to really worry about that, though just like with Shulk, his buffs do have drawbacks. For instance, Oomph, you do more damage, but only with physical attacks. Your projectiles do not do more damage because of that. However, you also take much more damage yourself. With Accelerato, you have a really good movement, but you also will take more knockback. So you'll fly even harder. And so combining the two together is pretty scary. You know, sure, it seems worth it, but trust me, I mean, that's gonna be a lot of damage to you, and especially at like 60, 80, you're basically one touch away if you combine these two tools together, which is why it's important to conserve your MP to be able to use your amazing projectiles to keep away your opponent, force them to approach, and then yes, smack them and they're basically dead. Right? Now, obviously when it comes to other specials, they have their own uses. One of my favorite combination of spells is Crackle Slash to Whack and Thwack. So Whack and Thwack, the way they work is very simple. Very simple to understand. I mentioned it earlier. However, at 150 around, or like 160, it guarantees a kill. So I just want to show this off. So we're gonna try to get Thwack here. Thwack. See, it kills there. Okay, good. So it will kill at this percent. Now, just to make life so much more easier, we're gonna have the there you go. All right, and we're just gonna go for Thwack as the funny Pokemon does this. Never mind. So as you can see there, when they are encapsulated in the ice, they will die. Or at least in that situation, it's obviously a guaranteed death. But if we have Shulk at even lower percent, in theory, right? Obviously Shulk won't be flying as far. You could, if you're lucky, go for... Oh man, I had Crackle Slash there. you could have Crackle Slash and try to go for a, you know, whack. Another option you can do if you feel like you want to spend some cash, right? You want to spend some money and you feel like it's worth it. If you get Crackle Slash, then side B is another great option. At lower percents, it should break the ice and still combo into the finisher, which means they're likely to die very early because this move kills, but it costs a lot of MP. So those are some setups with that. Also, Flame Slash and Crackle Slash are both great at 2-framing. They have massive hitboxes, so there you go. If you really wanted to know that. I don't know if I can show it. There. Oh, well, he fell. But, pretty big hitboxes. Alright. And, for the finale, I just want to show off a little funny move called Hatchet Man. Hatchet Man is essentially the Warlock Punch type move. You know, it is what it is. I just want to show its power. This thing breaks shields instantly. However, something to note about Shulk is that when Shulk is in, well, shield, his Monado shield, well, his shield, takes even less damage. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna have Hero here, and we're gonna have Shulk here, and we're gonna try to go for Hatchet Man. Okay. Now we're gonna have Shulk shield, and look at that. Moves can't do that. Alright. Now we're gonna go for the ultimate RNG. Alright, we're gonna try to go for the ultimate RNG here. So let's slow things down a little bit. Alright, we're gonna play in slow motion. Alright, so there's our Hatchet Man. We gotta make sure to keep things in check. We're gonna put in some Psych Up. Psych Up won't go away until after it hits. After one hit, by the way. So let's say you grab and pummel. Now it's gone. Okay. So now we have Oomph. We have Accelerado. And not Accelerado, we have Psych Up. Now, let's get Hatchet Man. Let's get Shulk in shield. And let's... Boom! So just to let you know the power of this move. So, obviously, as a shield break punish, well, if you get it, you're gonna get a lot of damage for it. And, of course, if all the cards align, let's say you break someone's shield, because it is possible, because guess what? You are forced to respect Oomph and Psych Up together. Because with Oomph and Psych Up together, moves like down air, break shields, back air, break shields, both hits of F tilt, break shields, F smash, breaks shields, under a platform, up smash will break shields. So if the opponent ever has Psych Up and Oomph together, guess what? You're forced to respect that. You're forced to respect that. You're forced to respect that. And once your shield's gone, well, you're in a world of hurt. Make sense? So all in all, while we didn't really cover everything Hero has to offer, you know, obviously he has even other combos, other little things. I just really wanted to go over some things about Hero that, in my opinion, make him a strong character. Like I said, there are matchups in which he will lose because he's just not as fast as those characters. But I would say for a good majority of the cast, he's still able to do pretty well and contest pretty well with a lot of characters. You know, even characters in the higher tiers. So, I don't think Hero's a bad character at all. I don't think he's a mid-tier. I do think he's a high-tier base, as is already. Right? Because he just controls the stage extremely well. I mean, this projectile's cheap. Look how, this move's annoying to get hit by as is. And it practically goes half the stage. This little dinky fireball goes half the stage. Look at that. Shulk almost got hit. He gets hit there. Dinky little fireball. Annoying to get hit by. Oh, that's gotta be painful. Right? And you also have this version, which I believe goes full... Yeah, well, more than half. So in terms of controlling the stage, Hero's definitely got it. He has other tools, you know, like for edge guarding. A common one that happened when this character first came out is people would say like up B ledge and then B reverse that neutral B. It'll kill it like 30-40, right? So, and it's not that hard to set up because this thing comes up pretty fast, all things considered, and it holds them in place quite well, right? Pretty good. Pretty good. Fun fact, before I end off this video, all right, let's give Shulk here a little badge. This will only apply in hero dittos or characters that try to think they're funny for reflecting, because up B is a projectile, right? So let's say your opponent's like, oh, I want to reflect the move, right? They want to reflect your little funny up B because you'll die, whatever, right? They can't really risk that though, because if say you turn on your reflector and Hero has this, well, I guess the Franklin badge is much stronger than I thought, because that thing should be doing sub 400 damage to him right now, but I guess it's stronger than it looks. But because reflectors do break in this game, you will have a likely scenario in which Hero will do 400 if you try reflecting this up B. Why would you ever be in a situation where you would want to do that? Well, some people think they're smart, right? They'll think, oh, you know, I'm a smart dude, right? He's doing this stupid move. He's gonna get hit. Haha. Maybe I'll be able to combo off of it. And then they take 400 and they die. So, you know, some funny tips and tricks. There's more to this character than meets the eye. I just wanted to get the point across that I think people underrate this character. I think one of the main issues, of course, is the language barrier, because obviously he has different, you know, the menu here is in English for me, but there'll be different languages depending on what settings. I do agree with people that there should be like an icon for each spell. That way you should be able to tell regardless of the language barrier. I know they won't do that, which sucks. I wish there was just a language option that we were able to pick that allowed us to do that. But that is the unfortunate problem with Hero. As one thing, as one reason why people have a legitimate reason to want this character banned. It's mainly because the menu. But hey, in some languages, it's pretty funny to read. Like whack and thwack become kill and super kill. It's hilarious. But otherwise, I understand why people want this character banned. I don't think Hero will be banned though. I think Hero will stay in the meta. Obviously, the character isn't even a character that's been played much. No one plays Hero really outside of, I think Salem plays Hero, and that's it. And so not many people touch this character. Not a lot of people really know the potential of this character, in all honesty. And in my opinion, I don't think that it's too hard to learn the spells in different languages. I feel that if you're the Hero main and you're going to a different country, you should learn the language of that country of how to do those spells. It's not that hard. In my opinion, I'm pretty consistent at playing Hero in Japanese settings. I've tried it before. It's not that hard, at least from my own experiences, of course. So it's different for everyone, you know. Just because it's good for me doesn't mean it's good for everyone else. But still, I wanted to get that across. Now, with that all being said, tell me your guys' thoughts on Hero down in the comments below. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Is there anything you'd like me to elaborate on even more? Is there some other funny tips and tricks you want to know? Like, did you know that Hero's down smash has a hitbox on his body? So let's see if we can force Shulk to run at me. Okay, never mind. let's try this again. All right, and no, okay, I won't be able to show it off. But if you're inside of Hero, just know, be careful, because your shield could get wiped out just because you got in the middle of two hits. All right, I guess I can't show it there. But with that all being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed. Let's try getting to 1,000 subs before the end of the year. And I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day. Take care. Peace.
You're not alone. coming through. Partner, we can do this right. You're the fire, I'm the wind tonight. Burning dread, ha, that's right.